terms of flirting with NFL draft stuff that hasn't said anything yet. Do you think he'll stick with y'all?
Shipley?
Yeah, Shipley and decide after.
I'll let him tell y'all that. I won't steal his thunder either way. I'm sure he'll probably meet with media at some point. So I'll let him tell y'all whatever he's going to do. He's playing in the bowl game for sure.
I guess Barrett Carter announced that he is coming back. I guess what discussion did you have with him about that? Why do you think that's a good move for him?
Because I think he's got a chance to be a top 15, top 20 pick. And, he's not that this year. He's a guy that's obviously on everybody's radar. And he's positioned himself, there's no question to get drafted. But he's just one of those kids that wants to finish. He wants to finish. I think had he got a first-round grade, he wouldn't be here. It probably would have been an easier decision. But he wants to finish. He's got more work he wants to get done at Clemson. He wants to be a graduate. He wants to be a leader. He wants to be a captain. And he wants to win a national championship. And so, he's excited, and so are we. We went to the NFL portal and got us one right there. Pretty excited about him.
How about Mickens? Is he solidly here?
Yeah, as far as I know, he's graduating. We got a bunch of guys graduating, and his intention is to go pro. That's been what he said from day one. But he is not. Obviously, we'd love for him to stay, but I don't know that he's made that decision yet. But nothing's really changed from where he was, at this point. I think he's maybe still trying to decide what he wants to do there, whether he wants to go pro or come back another year or whatever. Antonio
Williams.
Yeah, he looks great. Yeah, he looks great. Yeah, he was able to. It's been good to see him bouncing around. Have him. Cole Turner's looking good. He can't play, but that's two guys we really hadn't had all year. Antonio played 4 games, and really not even a full 4 games. 3+ games, and then Cole's obviously been out since first game and a quarter. So both of those guys are doing well, but Antonio, should be able to play. And Spector, we think he's going to be able to. By the time we get to bowl site, we think he'll be full go as well.
You mentioned Lucas things up at corner.
Lucas had surgery, so he's out. Strozier had surgery, he's out. That's 2 pretty good ones there too, and I hate it. But yeah, Lucas, he's probably 7 weeks or so should be ready to go for spring, and same thing with Strozier.
You mentioned with the coaching hires that you've been talking to Lemansky about it for a while, and that was in your mind, and that you didn't really think about making a change at offensive line until you had time to think about it and kind of come home after the game. What was it that, you were sitting there on the couch or in your office and you said, yeah, I think it's time? Was there one thing, 2 things that you were like, yeah, I think it's time, and was Matt your first call?
Yeah, Ski and I, something we talked about for a while, and he was just honestly just kind of ready for kind of the next step on what he wanted to do, and so it was just the right time there. We just talked about, again, what that looked like and, what the process of that, and so excited for him, and and he did a great job for us, man. I mean, he's coached those defensive ends every game since 2018, and obviously recruited Miles Oliver in here, and TJ and KJ and all these guys. He's coached. I mean, he's done a great job, but he was ready for a different path, I think, and then but as far as the OL, I just end of the season, you got some time. That's what I do every year, is evaluate everything in our program. Evaluate it all. Some things or some years you stay the course in some areas, or some years you make some tweaks that you don't even know about, and some you make some changes that, unfortunately, it's a personnel change, or it's a public change, or whatever. And that's the hard part of our business, because you're dealing with people, and you're dealing with their lives, and there's no greater person on the planet than Thomas Austin. I mean, there's just not. I mean, he's just one of the best people on the planet, and I love him, his family. I mean, this is a hard thing. And, I mean, the guy's a captain for me. So those are tough. But at the end of the day, you know, we all have a job to do. And, you know, I evaluate everything every single year. And when I think I need to change, whether it be something as simple as, you know, something in the locker room like we're going to do this year, something like that, or it's, again, a personnel move. Those are things that's my job. And so, yeah, the first call was Matt, and, you know, I've known him for a while, but I wasn't planning on making a change. I wasn't even thinking, I don't think about stuff like that. I'm trying to win the freaking game. I'm trying to have a great day that day. That's not stuff that I process, you know, during the season. And so, but, you know, after just some conversations and meetings and just kind of evaluation, I felt like we just needed a different direction there. And so reached out to Matt, and I mean, it was very quick. And he was my first call. And as he said, I mean, he's had a lot of he had opportunities last year. He's had a bunch of opportunities to get back in, but this was, as he said, the only job that he would get back in for. And so it was the right timing for him, right timing for us, and it's been a lot of fun, you know, getting that transition started. You know, you're gonna love him. He's got a great wife, you know, Ashley. She's awesome, and Harrison and Cooper, his two boys, are 15 and 12. You know, Coach Frew over at Daniels, the luckiest coach on the planet, you know, recruiting all these football players in here for him. So he's got some couple boys that play ball, and then same thing with Chris Rump. You know, I coached Chris's youngest son. He was on my travel baseball team for years, little Chris, and we called him the rump shaker because he'd get up in that batter's box and he'd just shake that rump. He'd just shake it. So we called him the rump shaker. And now he plays DN for the Chargers. And so it's kind of cool to watch him grow up and mature. And, you know, a lot of great memories of little Chris running around at camp. And then, you know, Elijah was just a baby. And now Elijah is a grown man. You know, he's a big-time running back, linebacker guy somewhere out in Minnesota. So, you know, hopefully Daniel High is going to continue to have a bunch of coaches' kids, man. We've had some great ones roll through here. So it's been fun, but great guys and good fits for us, and have already hit the road. I've been on the road with them. I mean, they've got a great presence and great reputations with, you know, coaches and all the people involved in recruiting. So y'all will enjoy working with both of those guys.
With Hunter Helms leaving, do you think the numbers dictate maybe looking into the portal at quarterback at all this offseason?
No, we you know, we talk about that at every position, but we like the guys we have, and we like who's coming. So we feel pretty good about the direction that we have there, and Paul Tyson's going to stay. So, you know, Paul's going to stay. He's got another year, but he's going to be, you know, we call him Uncle Paul. So Uncle Paul's he's going to kind of be, Zeb Nolan. He's going to be our Zeb Nolan. And Lord, how God help us. Hopefully we don't have to get to that point. You know, if you get to a fourth quarterback, it's usually not pretty good anyway. It's probably you're probably resetting your goals, Larry, if you're down to your fourth quarterback. But Uncle Paul's going to stay. Uncle Paul's going to become a coach. He's going to become Coach Paul, and so he's going to be a student coach, and that's what he wants to do. And so that was kind of part of getting him here. But he's got another year of eligibility, so. You know, he's gonna be a coach, but he's gonna stay in shape and keep his arm ready. And you know, again, if we had to get to a fourth guy, you know, he'd be the guy to go play for us, and could function obviously, and you know everything. Obviously, he's gonna know the game plan week in and week out intimately, as kind of being a coach for us. But we're excited. We're excited about obviously Klubnik. We're committed to him, believe in him. He's our guy. And, we saw a lot of growth in him this year in his first year as a full-time starter, and I think you're going to continue to see that. He's got a lot of things he's got to do in the offseason, for sure. The game has slowed down for him. He's still got more to do there. But he makes elite plays, and he's gotten better at kind of cutting out some of those disaster plays that we had early on, and just kind of, again, just being a little smarter and settling in, a little more poise in the pocket, things like that. I think he's made great progress, and we really believe in that kid. He'll be a junior, and I think he stays the course. When he walks out of here a couple years, this kid's going to be a great winner here. I really believe that, and so does everybody else in the building. And then we're excited about CV. We're kind of executing the plan that we put in place. This was a highly recruited guy that could have gone to a lot of places, and he chose to come. He was only 17, so that was kind of what we recruited him to redshirt. We felt good about Hunter and that's why we went and got Paul Tyson and Trent. We felt good about, getting through the year and letting him really just develop and kind of catch up. Now, he'll be a redshirt freshman. Kate will be a junior. And then, man, I'm going to tell you, Trent Pierman, if it wasn't, I would answer it this way. If it wasn't for Trent, we would probably have to go get another guy. But we really, really like Trent Pierman. He's got some moxie and savvy. And those of you that have watched him play, this kid was a 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of South Carolina. This ain't no slouch now. This kid can play. He needed to get a little bigger. He needed to get a little stronger, but he's got savvy. He's got instincts. He's got moxie. He is a really, 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 really good third-team quarterback. So that's what we got. And then we got Paul, who's a sixth-year guy, who's got a wealth of experience, who could go win the game for us in the Gator Bowl if we need him to. We got him. So that's where we are. And now, if Paul was not going to be here, we'd have to go get somebody else. We are still trying to find maybe a high-level PWO to maybe come in and give us another arm as well to come in and compete. But we'll see how that goes. But if Paul wasn't here and we didn't feel like we feel about Trent Pierman, then we would probably have to go find somebody else.
Any questions for Coach virtually? Anybody else in the room?
Was wondering if you could touch back on men's soccer. Noonan joins you as only 2 of the 3 coaches in Clemson history with 2 national championships. That's pretty cool. Just a little bit more about what they've been able to do, and especially 2 in 3 years.
Yeah, it's awesome. Race to 3. I sent him a text last night. First one to 3 is not the rotten egg, right? You used to say, first one here's a rotten egg or whatever, or not the rotten egg, but it's awesome. It's so hard to do. How long has Clemson been around? 100 something years, right? And been playing sports around here a long time. To win one is incredible. It's hard. You can look in college football right now. How many coaches have won a national championship? Not many. It's almost impossible, especially with Nick Saban running around. It's really hard. It's really, really hard to do, and in any sport, but certainly at this level. And man, I'm just really happy for Noons. And I told him, I said, all right, it's a race to 3, and you get first crack at it because his season's going to end before ours next year. So it's just a lot of fun to see, all these sports on this campus be successful. But I'm really just so happy for them. And and they really dominated, I know they scored late, but 2-0 in soccer, that's like a 3-touchdown lead, right? So I'm just really happy for not just him, his whole staff, everyone. I love Julie Ibrahim and to Pierce Tormey, to see all of them and, involved, and, there's just a lot of great tradition, and to see the job that Noonan has done. Obviously was here when he got hired, and I got a picture in my office we took last year, me and Noonan and Woody and Billy D and Terry Don. and we had the 2 Natty trophies, and we had the one Natty soccer trophy. And I sent that picture. I told Noonan we would Photoshop his second one in there, but I look at that picture, and I mean, how cool is that? Man, Terry Don Phillips, I had a chance I went and saw him a few weeks ago, and man, that guy, they don't make them like him anymore. And, you know, his vision, you know, his belief in me and Mike to give us the opportunity and to give us the resources and the time to, you know, grow and develop a great program. There's just so many people involved, and I'm just happy for all those people. You know, it's just really cool to see. And, you know, and Larry, you sent me a thing this morning. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that particular quote that you sent me, but when Dan Radakovich came to me about, you know, he just kept wearing me out when he first got the job. He literally kept saying, you know, I want to know 5 years from now. I want to know what do we got to do to take Clemson. And he didn't like and he, you know, and I'm just trying to get along with the new boss. And and he just finally kept, I pulled out a piece of paper and I drew this facility. I drew it out, you know, and I knew he was going on a trip to Europe, and I said, here, and I drew it out, and I said, here, take this with you. And he came back and he says, you really think? I said, yeah. And I said, now here's the problem. It's going to piss everybody off on campus. Everybody's going to be pissed. Everybody. I said, but if football gets better, everybody's going to get better. And I said, starting with Coach Noonan, they're going to all be mad at me. And I went and met with Mike. I said, hey, I'll help you raise money. I said, I promise you, everybody's going to get better, because we took their soccer fields. And that's all you need to know about Mike Noonan, Coach Noonan. I mean, we took their soccer fields. They're wherever. And man, he just stayed supportive, and that's why I'm so happy, because everybody sacrificed around here. Everybody sacrificed, and because everything was disrupted to build this facility. And, you know, and it's been fun to see it come fruition. I think we've got the best athletic facilities in all of America. And, you know, we've committed great resources. I think we got the best soccer facility and the best soccer setup. And it's been awesome to see.
Got time for one more?
In this last week leading up to signing day, what are kind of the final touches that you're looking at for this class?
This class, we need one more linebacker, and you know, we feel pretty good about that. Actually, feel really good about that, and we probably need, you know, based on where we are, we probably need one more OL, and you know, we've been kind of on a few guys there, and that's probably the one area that we've been evaluating the portal, honestly, you know, for some need there. So we'll see how it shakes out. I think we're in a pretty good spot.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you all.
Everybody stand.